Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Napoleon Hill, and I am here to tell you something the world has forgotten. Your mind is the greatest form of wealth you will ever own. Before gold was mined, it was first conceived in thought. Before empires were built, they were imagined in silence. Before any man became rich, he first became rich in mind. Understand this deeply. You do not think after you succeed because you think. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not chance. It is not luck. It is mindset. And not just any mindset, but one trained, disciplined, and aligned with the invisible laws of success. Because wealth, my friend, is not something you chase. It is something you attract through the power of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions harmonized toward a definite purpose. You have heard the title Think and Grow Rich, but few understand what it truly means. It is not merely a formula for money. It is a philosophy for power. Let us begin with the first secret, the cornerstone of all achievement, desire. Every success story begins with a burning desire, not a wish, not a vague interest, a white-hot obsession that consumes the mind until it becomes a command to the universe itself. Desire is not weakness. It is divine energy in motion. It is the spark of creation within you demanding expression. Every invention, every discovery, every revolution began as desire in human form. Desire is life saying through you, I want to expand. But here lies the truth few will tell you. Your desire must be definite. If you aim at everything, you hit nothing. If you drift, you decay. If you wander without purpose, you will become a servant to those who have one. So I ask you, what do you truly desire? Not what you think you should want, but what sets your soul on fire. Until you can answer that question with absolute clarity, you will live half alive, moving but never advancing. Now, once desire has been born, the second secret must follow. Faith. Faith is the chemistry that transforms desire into reality. It is belief so strong that it bends circumstance to its will. You cannot build wealth while doubting yourself. You cannot rise while fearing your fall. The universe will always reflect the energy you project, and if you project fear, it will give you more of it. If you project faith, it will align every unseen force in your favor. Faith is not blind optimism. It is spiritual certainty. It is walking forward even when you cannot see the ground beneath your feet. When I say think and grow rich, I mean this: think with faith, not with fear. Speak with conviction, not complaint. Act with confidence, not confusion. Every thought steeped in faith becomes a seed in the garden of destiny. And the one who waters it daily with gratitude and persistence will reap miracles that logic cannot explain. The third secret, auto-suggestion. Your mind is the most loyal servant you will ever have, but it obeys only what you repeat. Every thought you impress upon your subconscious becomes law. It cannot question, it only creates. So if you tell yourself you are weak, you will live small. If you tell yourself you are unlucky, life will confirm it. If you tell yourself you are destined for greatness, and feed that belief daily through affirmation, visualization, and action, your subconscious will open doors your conscious mind never even saw. You are the author of your inner script, and your inner script writes your outer reality. So speak to yourself with reverence, because you are not talking to a mind, you are talking to infinity dressed as you. Then comes the fourth secret, specialized knowledge. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. You can read 1,000 books and still remain the same man. But one truth applied with faith can change your destiny. General knowledge will feed your ego. Specialized knowledge will feed your purpose. You must know more about one thing than most people ever will, and then use that knowledge in service of others. The world does not pay for opinions, it pays for value. And value is born when knowledge is directed toward a definite goal. So master something, go deep. Be so skilled in your craft that you no longer compete, you create. The fifth secret, imagination. Every fortune ever made was first built in the mind's workshop. Imagination is the most powerful faculty you possess. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the canvas upon which the future is painted. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you imagine consistently with emotion. What you hold in your mind with faith and feeling must one day appear in your world. That is law. Imagination is your direct line to the infinite intelligence that governs all creation. It whispers ideas, insights, and inventions into the hearts of those who are ready to receive them. But imagination, like any power, must be directed. It must serve your purpose, not your fear. Most people use imagination to rehearse their worries. The great ones use it to design their destiny. So ask yourself, what future am I rehearsing in my mind every day? Now we come to the sixth secret, organized planning. Dreams without plans are illusions. Once you have a vision, you must engineer it. Write it, structure it, schedule it, execute it. A goal without a plan is a wish. And wishes are for children, not creators. Every great achievement began with a definite plan, tested through persistence and refined through experience. Do not wait for a perfect plan. Begin with the plan you have and perfect it through action. The act of organizing your plan transforms your dream from fantasy to form. It gives the mind direction, focus, momentum. Write your plan each day as if the universe were your business partner, because it is. Now the seventh secret, decision. Indecision is the thief of destiny. The most common reason people fail is not ignorance. It is hesitation. While the timid think, the bold act. While the uncertain wait, the committed win. Success does not favor the smartest. It favors the decisive. Every man who became great first learned to decide quickly and stand firmly. You must become immune to doubt. You must train yourself to choose, even when you're afraid, because doubt delays destiny. And hesitation kills opportunity before it's even born. The world moves for the one who knows where he's going. Life bends to the will of the decisive, so choose, and never apologize for your direction. And then, the eighth secret, persistence. No principle, no strategy, no wisdom matters without this one. The road to success will test you. You will be doubted, rejected, overlooked, and misunderstood. You will fail, perhaps again and again. But each time you rise, you strengthen your spirit. Each time you continue, you declare your mastery over fear. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is faith in motion. It is the silent language of champions. The man who persists does not need to chase success, because eventually success chases him. And yet, even after all this, there is a higher secret, one that we will explore next, the secret that ties all others together. It is the key that turns the lock of destiny, the law that governs all success, the mindset that transforms knowledge into power and power into creation. It is the secret of the master mind. You cannot rise alone. No man ever did. But when two or more minds unite with harmony, purpose, and faith, they create a force greater than both. A third mind that bridges the human with the divine. That is where the impossible becomes inevitable. In the next part, you will learn how to channel this force, how to tap into infinite intelligence itself, and how to make your mind an instrument of wealth, power, and spiritual fulfillment. Listen closely, my friend. You now stand before the doorway to a realm where ordinary understanding ends and true power begins. For you have learned that success begins in thought. But now you must learn how thought connects with infinite intelligence itself. Because no man, no matter how brilliant or driven, ever achieves greatness alone. Every empire, every revolution, every work of genius has been the result of combined minds, united in harmony toward a definite purpose. This is the mystery of the master mind. When two or more minds come together with unity of purpose, a third mind is born, unseen but undeniable. It is the mind of creation itself. It is the vibration where human intelligence meets divine intelligence. And those who understand this principle do not compete with the world. They cooperate with the universe. You see, infinite intelligence, that unseen field of wisdom and power that animates all things, does not reveal itself to the idle, nor to the selfish. It reveals itself to the aligned, to those whose desires are pure, whose purpose is definite, and whose vibration is harmonized with faith. That is the secret power behind the master mind. It transforms individuals into instruments of the infinite. Let me tell you this truth clearly: success is not achieved by force, it is achieved by frequency. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in harmony with your purpose, you attract ideas, people, and opportunities that match that same frequency. It is not magic, it is law. You do not stumble upon success, you tune into it. You do not beg the universe for miracles, you align yourself with them. And alignment begins the moment you stop fighting reality and start cooperating with it. That is why the mastermind is so sacred, because it creates harmony, and harmony is the signature of all true success. The world teaches competition, infinite intelligence teaches cooperation. Competition divides, cooperation multiplies. The greatest leaders were not those who stood alone, but those who surrounded themselves with the right minds, the right energy, the right vibration. If you wish to grow rich, not only in money but in mastery, build your circle with intention. Surround yourself with minds that stretch you, with spirits that challenge you, with hearts that believe in you when you forget to believe in yourself. Because energy is contagious, and proximity to greatness multiplies greatness within you. But let me reveal something deeper. The mastermind is not only between people, it is also within you. You are not one mind, you are three. You have your conscious mind, the planner, the thinker, the chooser. You have your subconscious mind, the emotional engine, the habit maker, the creative powerhouse. And you are surrounded by infinite intelligence, the universal source of all ideas, wisdom, and power. When these three are united, when your conscious, subconscious, and the infinite are aligned, you become unstoppable. That is the true mastermind. Let us begin with the subconscious mind. This is the connecting link between your limited self and the limitless universe. It never sleeps, it never forgets, it never argues. Whatever thoughts you feed it, through repetition, emotion, and belief, it accepts as truth and delivers as experience. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. It does not care what you plant. It will grow fear as easily as faith, doubt as easily as determination, poverty as easily as prosperity. So guard your thoughts as you would guard a sacred temple, because your subconscious is always listening. Every word you speak, every feeling you dwell upon, every mental image you repeat is a seed. And those seeds, multiplied by the creative power of the subconscious, become your reality. You cannot feed your mind chaos and expect peace. You cannot plant worry and expect wealth. You cannot think small and live large. Whatever dominates your thoughts must one day dominate your life. So speak life into your destiny. See yourself already becoming what you desire. Feel the emotion of gratitude before the evidence appears, because your subconscious does not wait for proof. It creates it. That is the great law of mental transmutation. Whatever you impress upon your mind, you express in your world. Now, how does this connect to infinite intelligence? Your subconscious is the bridge, a spiritual transmitter through which your thoughts communicate with the divine. When you send out thoughts charged with emotion, faith, and clarity, you are broadcasting a frequency into the universe. That frequency attracts matching vibrations, ideas, resources, people, circumstances that align with your inner state. This is how prayer, intention, and visualization truly work. It is not superstition, it is spiritual physics. You are a living magnet, drawing to yourself the essence of what you continually think and feel. And when your thoughts are unified with purpose, your subconscious becomes a channel through which infinite intelligence flows freely. That is when you stop trying to force success and begin to flow with it. But here's the secret most will never understand. The subconscious mind responds to emotion, not logic. You can say 1,000 affirmations, but if they are dry, lifeless words, they carry no power. The subconscious listens to feeling. That is why faith works miracles where intellect fails. It is why gratitude opens doors reason cannot explain. Because emotion is the language of creation. So if you wish to reprogram your mind, you must feel your success before you see it. You must live your desire internally until it becomes more real to you than your current reality. That is the moment when the subconscious accepts the new truth, and the universe begins to rearrange itself to match it. Let us pause here, and I want you to imagine something. Imagine your goal, your dream, as if it were already complete. Close your eyes and see it vividly. Feel it, the weight of achievement, the relief of victory, the joy of fulfillment. Now, whisper to yourself, "It is already done." That simple statement, when charged with emotion, commands your subconscious to act. It begins to magnetize the people, the timing, the circumstances, and through the unseen network of infinite intelligence, it guides them to you in ways you cannot predict. This is how men like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie created miracles from nothing. They trained their minds to believe before seeing. They learned to cooperate with infinite intelligence rather than compete with circumstance. But let me warn you of something: you cannot fool the subconscious. You cannot speak faith while feeling fear. You cannot pray for abundance while believing in lack. Your vibration must match your desire. You cannot attract wealth from a mindset of scarcity. You cannot attract love from a heart filled with bitterness. You cannot attract peace from a mind obsessed with control. Your outer life will always mirror your inner truth. So the real work of success is not changing the world. It is changing your inner world until the outer must reflect it. That is the essence of the Think and Grow Rich philosophy. Change your vibration, and your reality will change automatically. The mind, the subconscious, and infinite intelligence. These three are one power expressed in different forms. When your conscious mind sets a definite purpose, your subconscious emotionalizes it, and infinite intelligence materializes it. That is the trinity of creation. That is the machinery of miracles. Now you may ask, "Napoleon, how do I strengthen this connection? How do I open my channel to infinite intelligence?" You must cultivate three disciplines: faith, silence, and service. Faith opens the door. Silence keeps it clear. Service aligns your energy with the higher purpose of creation itself. Faith, because doubt clogs the flow. Silence, because the divine voice whispers only when the mind is still. Service, because when your desires uplift others, you attract divine assistance. The selfish mind may succeed temporarily, but the selfless mind becomes unstoppable. Because the universe supports that which supports life. Every time you align your thoughts with purpose, every time you act with faith, every time you serve beyond self, you strengthen your connection with infinite intelligence. You begin to receive flashes of inspiration, ideas that seem to come from nowhere, synchronicities that defy logic, opportunities that arrive as if called by name. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. The infinite has heard your vibration, and it is responding. Now, my friend, we are approaching the final layer, the place where success transforms from effort into flow, where thought becomes power, and power becomes peace. Because wealth without inner mastery is only noise. But when you align your mind, heart, and purpose with the infinite, you gain not just money, you gain meaning. In the next part, we will go even deeper into the final secrets of transmutation, how to transform emotion into energy and energy into creation. You will learn how to command your subconscious to serve your destiny, how to channel the creative power of emotion, and how to live as a magnet for abundance. That is the ultimate secret of Think and Grow Rich. Listen carefully, my friend. We now enter the deepest chamber of the human mind, the sacred space where thought transforms into vibration, and vibration becomes matter. This is the realm most men will never understand, for they are too distracted by the noise of the world to feel the pulse of creation within themselves. Yet everything you see around you, every building, every invention, every empire, began as a vibration, a pulse of emotion refined by thought and directed by purpose. That vibration is energy, and that energy, when transmuted correctly, becomes wealth. Here lies one of the greatest secrets of Think and Grow Rich. Emotion is raw power. Every feeling, joy, anger, desire, fear, passion, love, is energy. But the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is not emotion itself. It is how they use it. The weak are ruled by emotion. The wise transmute it. They take the same fire that burns others and use it to forge their destiny. They understand that emotion is not the enemy, it is the fuel. Transmutation means to change one form of energy into another, to turn the invisible into visible, the emotional into tangible, the spiritual into material. Most people waste their emotional energy in reaction, anger, resentment, fear, jealousy, complaint. They burn their power without direction and wonder why they feel empty, tired, defeated. But the Master, the one who understands the law, does not waste this sacred fire. He channels it. He refines it. He transforms it into creation. He knows that emotion's purpose tests faith to power. And when that power is harnessed, it can move mountains, build empires, and transform poverty into prosperity. You have felt this before. That electric force in moments of inspiration. That surge of energy when a dream catches fire inside you. That is creative power, divine energy seeking expression through you. But you must direct it, because energy without direction creates chaos. But energy guided by vision creates worlds. This is why I say you must not kill emotion. You must command it. Emotion is divine. It is the heartbeat of creation. But like fire, it must be contained within the furnace of discipline. Let me show you how this works. When you feel anger, don't suppress it. Transform it. Use it to strengthen your will. Let it drive you toward improvement rather than destruction. When you feel fear, don't run from it. Study it. Fear reveals where your faith is weak. Use it as a signal to deepen your belief. When you feel passion, don't squander it. Channel it. Use that energy to create, to serve, to build something lasting. That is emotional transmutation, the art of turning your lowest energies into your highest achievements. The same energy that can destroy you can also deliver you, if you learn to direct it. Do not misunderstand, this principle is not mystical. It is mechanical. You are a generator of energy. Every thought and feeling you produce vibrates through your nervous system, influencing your health, your decisions, your magnetism. Positive emotion, faith, love, enthusiasm, gratitude vibrates at high frequency. Negative emotion, fear, hate, worry, jealousy vibrates low. And here is the key: your frequency determines your fortune. High vibrations attract high experiences. Low vibrations attract limitation. When you elevate your emotional state, you align with the flow of abundance itself. This is the science behind the spirit. You think your way into wealth by feeling your way into faith. In my years of study, I discovered that every truly wealthy person, whether in money, influence, or peace, had learned to channel emotional energy into creative purpose. They were not cold or emotionless, quite the opposite. They felt deeply, but they never allowed those feelings to control them. They transformed emotion into action, passion into persistence, pain into power. Their secret was not avoidance, it was alchemization. That is why I say you are not here to escape emotion. You are here to evolve it. Now, let us speak of one of the most potent forms of transmutation, sexual energy. Do not shy away from this truth, for it is one of the most misunderstood forces in existence. Sex energy is the most intense of all human emotions, the life force itself. But nature designed it not merely for physical expression, but for creation in every form. The same energy that creates life also creates art, wealth, genius, and power, when transmuted through discipline and purpose. The man who learns to channel his creative energy into his work, his vision, his service, becomes magnetic, inspired, unstoppable. You have seen this energy before. The unshakable confidence, the vibrant charisma, the unstoppable vitality of those who live with purpose. They are not drained by their desires. They are driven by them. They have mastered the sacred law of transmutation to elevate base energy into spiritual creation. And through that mastery, they tap directly into infinite intelligence. Now you understand why I say you must not suppress your energy. You must sanctify it. Every strong emotion is divine potential in disguise. It is energy waiting for direction. When you channel that energy toward creation, toward service, toward faith, toward vision, you align with the frequency of success itself. And when you live in that alignment long enough, you begin to attract ideas, people, and events that seem impossibly perfect. You say, I was in the right place at the right time. No, my friend, you were in the right vibration. The law of vibration governs all things. When your energy matches the outcome you desire, that outcome must appear. It is not theory, it is physics of the soul. So how do you master this power in daily life? You begin with awareness. You become conscious of your emotions instead of reacting to them. You pause before you respond. You feel the emotion fully. Then ask, what is this energy trying to teach me? How can I direct it for good? If it is anger, use it to fuel your discipline. If it is fear, use it to build courage. If it is desire, use it to create, not consume. And always remember, the moment you become aware of emotion, you gain authority over it. Awareness transforms energy into intelligence. Then comes the second step, expression. Energy must move. If you do not express it constructively, it will express itself destructively. That is why creativity is sacred. Write, speak, build, serve, move. Channel your emotion into movement. Let your pain become poetry. Let your passion become purpose. Let your fear become focus. Creation is the highest form of healing. It is the transformation of emotion into evolution. And the third step, discipline. Discipline is the container that holds your power. Without discipline, energy leaks. Without boundaries, brilliance burns out. You must train your body, your mind, your emotions to obey your higher vision. When energy obeys purpose, miracles occur. When energy runs wild, destruction follows. Self-control is not suppression. It is refinement. It is directing your fire to light the world instead of burning it. My friend, every emotion you feel is a signal. Every vibration you emit is a cause. Every experience you attract is an effect. If you wish to change the effects, you must change the cause, the quality of your inner energy. That is the true meaning of think and grow rich. Not work harder, but vibrate higher. Not wish for wealth, but align with abundance. Not chase success, but become the frequency of it. There is a reason this law is hidden in plain sight, because the mind that is not ready will misuse it. To those still ruled by greed, fear, and impatience, this knowledge becomes poison. But to those who seek mastery, not only of wealth but of self, this knowledge becomes salvation. When you command your energy, you command your destiny. You become a conscious creator, a vessel through which infinite intelligence manifests new worlds. That is the highest form of wealth, not money, not status, not possessions, but mastery over the mind that creates them. And yet there is still one final key, the one that locks all others into place. For even mastery, if held too tightly, becomes control. And control, my friend, kills creation. There is one more step beyond effort, beyond focus, beyond transmutation itself, and that step is surrender. Not the surrender of weakness, but the surrender of wisdom, the ability to trust the process you have set in motion, to release anxiety, attachment, and fear, and let infinite intelligence complete the work you began. Because when you finally release control, you become the channel, and the infinite moves through you effortlessly. That is when creation becomes divine. That is when success becomes peace. That is when you no longer think and grow rich. You simply are. Listen closely, my friend, for this is the point where power becomes peace, and where creation becomes effortless. You have learned the laws. You have awakened your mind. You have discovered the connection between thought, emotion, and infinite intelligence. You have learned how to harness your energy and transmute your desires into form. But there remains one final step, the one most people never take, the step that transforms striving into flow, ambition into grace, effort into ease. It is the step of surrender. Now, do not mistake me. Surrender is not weakness. It is not giving up. It is not the death of power. It is its perfection. Surrender is the conscious release of control. It is the quiet confidence that the same intelligence that moves the tides, grows the trees, and holds the stars in orbit is also guiding your life, precisely, perfectly, powerfully. When you surrender, you do not stop acting. You stop resisting. You no longer fight with the flow of life, you move with it. That is when your actions become guided, your timing becomes divine, your results become inevitable. You no longer work for success, you work with it. You see, for most of your life, you have been taught to push, to force, to grind, to control. But what you did not know is that control is born of fear. fear of loss, fear of failure. Fear that if you let go, everything will collapse. But what if the very thing holding you back was your grip? What if your control is the wall that blocks the miracles waiting to reach you? The universe cannot fill a hand that is clenched. It can only fill a hand that is open. Surrender is the final act of faith. The moment you say, I have done my part. Now I trust life to do the rest. It is when the farmer stops digging up his seed to check if it's growing. He knows it will, because he has done his work, and now nature must do hers. Likewise, once you have set your goal, aligned your thoughts, acted with faith, and transmuted your emotion into creation, you must let go. You must release attachment to when it will happen, how it will happen, and through whom it will happen. Your role is creation. The universe's role is coordination, and the universe is never late. There is a rhythm to all things, a season for sowing and a season for harvest. When you demand the fruit before the soil is ready, you destroy the process. But when you trust the rhythm, when you allow timing to unfold naturally, you discover that the universe has a far grander plan than the one you imagined. That is the beauty of surrender. It turns your limited human intention into limitless divine orchestration. Understand this: every outcome has a divine order. Even the delays, even the detours, even the disappointments. When you live from the mind alone, you see failure as an end. But when you live in surrender, you see it as guidance. You begin to realize that nothing is against you. Everything is arranging for you. Every closed door redirects you toward a better one. Every loss clears the space for something truer. Every heartbreak expands your heart to receive more love. The moment you surrender, pain transforms into wisdom. Resistance transforms into revelation. You no longer curse the storm. You learn to sail with it. Let me tell you this truth with absolute certainty. The richest men are not those who have the most control, but those who have the deepest trust. Because trust is the ultimate wealth. It allows you to live without tension, work without fear, and give without condition. When you trust infinite intelligence, you stop doubting your path. You stop comparing your journey. You stop questioning your worth. You realize that life is not happening to you or against you. Life is happening through you. You are not separate from the Creator. You are a channel for creation. Think of the river. It never forces its flow. It bends when it must, carves when it can, and moves always toward the ocean. It does not resist the rocks in its path. It shapes them. That is surrender. That is strength and flow. You, too, must learn to move like the river, with direction, yet without resistance. When you stop fighting what is, you discover that everything is working for you, not against you. That is not fantasy. It is the truth seen only by the awakened. Now let us talk about the paradox of power. The more you surrender, the more power you receive. When you stop trying to control outcomes, you open yourself to infinite intelligence. And it begins to move through you, doing more in a moment than you could in a lifetime of effort. You begin to live in what I call flow consciousness. In this state, opportunities appear effortlessly. Ideas arrive spontaneously. Synchronicities become your new normal. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer plan every detail. You receive divine inspiration. You no longer worry. You watch life unfold with precision and grace. This is not laziness. This is alignment. It is not passivity. It is participation with a higher rhythm. And here lies the final secret of the think and grow rich mindset. You must balance intention with allowance. Intention sets the direction. Allowance lets it manifest. Intention is your masculine force, focused, determined, decisive. Allowance is your feminine force, receptive, trusting, open. When these two forces merge, creation becomes complete. Too much intention creates strain. Too much allowance creates stagnation. But harmony between the two creates miracles. That is the dance between you and the divine. Do you understand now why peace is the highest form of wealth? Because peace is proof of trust. It is the natural fragrance of surrender. When your mind is at peace, you think clearly. When your heart is calm, you receive guidance. When your spirit is still, you become one with infinite intelligence itself. You no longer live by effort. You live by inspiration. You no longer ask, how will it happen? You simply know that it will. This is the ultimate freedom to move through life without resistance, to act without anxiety, to achieve without attachment. Let me leave you with this. There are two ways to live. You can live as the door, striving, pushing, forcing. Or you can live as the vessel, aligned, open, flowing. Both may reach the mountain's summit, but only one will enjoy the climb. The door fights gravity. The vessel rides the wind. Choose the wind. Choose flow. Choose surrender. Because once you surrender, you no longer live in fear of losing. You realize there was never anything to lose. You already are what you were chasing. You were never separate from wealth, success, or power. You were only separated from your awareness of them. And now, as we close this journey, let this truth echo in your soul. You are the thinker, and you are the thought. You are the dreamer, and you are the dream. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. So stop trying to become what you already are. Remember it, awaken it, live it. Because the moment you do, you will understand that the real meaning of Think and Grow Rich was never about money. It was about mind. It was about faith. It was about union with the infinite. To think rightly is to live richly. To feel deeply is to create powerfully. To surrender fully is to live freely. That is the complete mindset guide, the secret behind every miracle, every success, every story of greatness. So now, breathe, and as you breathe, release all striving, release all fear, release all need to control. You have done your part. Now let infinite intelligence do the rest. The universe is not waiting for your strength. It is waiting for your surrender. Because through surrender, can finally use you as the channel of its power. And when you become that channel, you will no longer need to think and grow rich. You will simply be rich in every sense of the word. Rich in peace, rich in purpose, rich in presence, rich in life. This is the secret, my friend. Not just how to think and grow rich, but how to become the vibration of wealth itself. You are no longer searching for the path. You are the path. You are no longer waiting for light. You are the light. And once you realize that truth, you will never chase success again, because success will chase you.